Good morning, live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh, coming up in the next hour. US President Donald Trump denounces Zelenskyy as a dictator. Zelenskyy hopes talks with visiting US envoy Keith Kellogg will be constructive. Sad day ahead for Israel as it prepares to receive bodies of youngest Gaza hostages. Hamas agrees to release all remaining hostages in a single swap during next phase. First-time MLA Rekha Gupta to script history as she takes oath as Chief Minister. Delhi's tryst with a woman at helm continues today. And India to face Bangladesh in Dubai as Men in Blue begin Champions Trophy campaign. Holders Pakistan stared at ignominious exit after loss to New Zealand in the opening tie. US President Donald Trump denounced Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy as a dictator on Wednesday. Trump wrote on social media Truth's portal, and he says, I quote, "A dictator without elections, Zelenskyy better move fast or he is not going to have a country left." Trump also warned Zelenskyy that he had to move quickly to secure peace or risk losing his country, deepening a feud between the two leaders that has alarmed European officials. Trump doubled down on his criticism of Ukrainian president, saying that he has done a terrible job and could have come to talks with Russia in Saudi Arabia if he had wanted to.
Biden never tried. Europe has failed to bring peace, and Zelenskyy probably maybe he wants to keep the gravy train going. I don't know what's the problem, but he hasn't been able. He's very upset that he wasn't invited. He could have come if he wanted to, but that he wasn't invited to Saudi Arabia.
In response, Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andrei Sybiha said no one could force his country to give in. Taking to microblogging site X, writes that, I quote, "We will defend our right to exist." Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said on Wednesday he was counting on unity and courage from his compatriots and pragmatism from the United States. He also said it was important the current visit to Ukraine by the US envoy for Russia and Ukraine, Keith Kellogg, be constructive.
I rely on Ukrainian unity, on our Ukrainian courage, on our relation with partners, on our European solidarity and on America's pragmatism, because America needs success just as much as we do. Success brings us together. Our meeting with General Kellogg is scheduled for tomorrow, and it is crucial for us that this meeting and overall cooperation with America is constructive.
Alongside, France hosted the second meeting to discuss the Ukraine and European security on Wednesday with leaders of 19 countries, including Canada, with most taking part by video link. At this meeting, the leaders agreed that Ukraine's rights and European security concerns should be taken into account in any deal to end the Ukraine conflict. They stressed on carrying out all the responsibilities to ensure peace and security in Europe. They said robust and credible guarantees were needed to ensure a lasting deal, and European security concerns would need to be taken into account. Greek Prime Minister on his part said Europe needs to wake up from the geopolitical and economic lethargy into which it has unfortunately fallen for some time.
Unfortunately, recent developments and the different view of things from the United States now plague us not only to face the truth, but to move at a very high speed and implement decisions that we have been discussing for a long time. Whether we are talking about the establishment of a defense policy that will allow Europe to project different power itself without being permanently, completely dependent on the United States, a crucial issue for our country.
Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer will visit Washington, D.C. next week amid other meetings aimed at bringing an end to Russia's war in Ukraine, ahead of which U.S. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz has said Washington is engaging with all sides and that the next step is putting technical teams forward to start talking more details. And DD India correspondent Akshay Dongre is joining us from Delhi with more. Akshay, as the rift widens between Trump and Zelenskyy, what are the implications for the Russia-Ukraine conflict?
Well, Shubhendu, we have clearly seen now it's out in the open that Donald Trump and what his opinions are as far as the leadership of Ukraine is concerned. He has said that the Ukrainian president has talked U.S. into spending, several $100 billion into a war that cannot be won, and that Zelenskyy is a dictator without elections. So clearly, it's out in the open that the tensions that existed as far as the new U.S. government and the Ukrainian president, that is clearly out. So now, what are the implications of this? Clearly, Russia is happy about the fact that Ukraine is fast losing U.S. support, and that only means that now it's just Europe that is going to support, that is likely to support Ukraine as far as the conflict is concerned, with majority of the U.S. support, backing out with the decisions of Donald Trump. So what are we seeing in the future is perhaps some more support coming in from a consolidated European front. But it clearly means that the wider support that Ukraine was getting, that was from the U.S. administration, that will be withdrawn, quite soon in the upcoming future.
Akshay, the divisions among the European allies have also become evident. How is Europe grappling with America's new stance on Russia, given that the leaders from France and UK are set to visit Washington?
Well, Shubhendu, this clearly is a paradigm shift as far as the U.S. policies are concerned. The earlier administration was properly backing the war. They were backing Ukraine. In fact, under Biden administration, the war broke out, and it couldn't be possible if the U.S. hadn't assured support to the Ukrainian leadership. And now the different government in U.S. has completely taken a different stance, stating that U.S. is not going to fund the war. Quite honestly, most of the money was coming in from U.S. So yes, the European allies of the US will also be divided as far as UK is concerned. It's a very close ally of the US. When it comes to geopolitical stands, its policies as well. When it comes to foreign policies, alliances in organizations like NATO, UK cannot do without US in today's geopolitical landscape, and it doesn't have a lot of very close ties with the European powers either. For example, France or Germany or other European powers who have largely stayed away from international conflict, whereas the UK had been in support of the US. So certainly there will be rifts in the US as well as far as the support to Ukraine is concerned, because there are going to be certain countries that will want to go ahead with supporting Ukraine. However, with US backing out, you can expect that majority of European countries will also be backing out in terms of support. So what we can see, what we can expect in the next few months or weeks is that significant reduction in power for Zelenskyy, perhaps an announcement of elections as well in Ukraine, because quite honestly, without the support of the US and Europe, Ukraine will not be able to stand against a foe like Russia in this war for more than a month, is what the experts have also stated in the past as well. Back to you, Shubhendu.
Akshay, thank you for those updates. Israel is bracing on Thursday for the return of bodies of two of the youngest captives taken by Hamas in their October 7, 2023 attack. 4 bodies that are said to be returned to Israel include Oded Lifshitz, a journalist and a peace activist, and Shiri Bibas, and her 2 children, Ariel and Kafir Bibas. Infant brothers are among the most potent symbols of the trauma inflicted that day. Kafir Bibas was 8.5 months old when he was kidnapped by Hamas. And Odette Lifshitz and his wife Yoshev Lifshitz were among the founders of Nir Oz Kibbutz and were peace activists who regularly transported patients from Gaza to receive medical treatment in hospitals across Israel. Both were taken captive on October 7th and Yoshev was released in November 2023. The handover will be the first return of dead bodies during the current agreement, and Israel is not expected to confirm their identities until full DNA checks have been completed. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Thursday it would be a very difficult day for the state of Israel.
A very difficult day for the state of Israel, a shocking day, a day of grief. We are bringing home 4 of our favorite hostages, fallen hostages. We hug the families and the heart of an entire nation is torn. My heart is torn, yours too. And the heart of the whole world needs to break because here we see who we are dealing with, what we are dealing with, what monsters. We are grieving, we are in pain, but we are also determined to ensure that something like this does not happen again.
And Thursday's handover of bodies will be followed by return of 6 living hostages on Saturday in exchange for hundreds of more Palestinian prisoners. The 6 alive hostages are Elia Cohen, 27 years old, Tal Shoham, 40 years old, Omer Shemtov, 22 years old, Omer Wankert, 23 years old. Negotiations for a second phase is expected to cover the return of around 60 remaining Israeli hostages, less than half of whom are believed to be alive, and a full withdrawal of Israeli troops from the Gaza Strip to allow an end to the conflict. These are expected to begin in the coming days. So far, 19 Israeli hostages have been returned in exchange for release of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners and detainees. The hostages were taken in the Hamas-led cross-border attack on October 7, 2023, that killed about 1,200 people in southern Israel. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has ordered a review of the department's 2026 budget so as to reallocate some $50 billion in funds. This comes following reports that he had directed deep multi-year cuts to military spending. Reportedly, Hegseth directed senior Defense Department leaders to plan for cuts that could slash the defense budget by 8% annually, or some $290 billion within the next 5 years. The Pentagon has described this as an effort aimed at removing funding from programs favored by former President Biden and using it on those advocated by his successor, President Donald Trump. The U.S. government on Wednesday moved to kill New York's congestion pricing scheme designed to reduce traffic and finance public transport by imposing tolls on drivers in Manhattan. A first-in-the-nation plan President Trump had vowed to quash. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said the move will halt the program that charges most drivers $9 to enter much of Manhattan and began on January 5th to provide support for Metropolitan Transportation Authority. New York Governor Kathy Hochul said that the state was ready to fight the move by the Trump administration.
I'm here to say New York hasn't labored under a king in over 250 years. And we sure as hell are not going to start now. The streets of this city where battles were fought, we stood up to a king. And we won then. And we will, in case you don't know, New Yorkers, we're in a fight. We do not back down, not now, not ever.
Meanwhile, the Metropolitan Transportation Authority on Wednesday sued Trump administration over its bid to kill congestion pricing program. In a statement, the authority said the decision is for blatantly political reasons to uphold the campaign promise of President Donald Trump. Many commuters to New York City have welcomed Trump's decision, saying it will be easy on their pockets.
It's a catch-22, right? Because then you're stuck with traffic, but it's easier on your pocket.
It's not. It's a good thing.
It's a good thing?
How come? Yeah. She's charging me too much money on my Easy Pass.
That is going to attract the passenger to come in knowing that the taxes are not going to be more than the fare.
The United States has designated 8 Latin American criminal and drug trafficking groups as global terrorist organizations. This is part of the efforts to stop the arrival of synthetic opioid fentanyl in the country. According to Federal Registrar Notice, United States designated Tren de Aragua, the Sinaloa cartel, and other drug cartels as global terrorist organizations, a move that comes as President Trump steps up immigration enforcement against alleged gang members in the U.S. The notice is issued by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, says the groups pose a risk to U.S. national security, foreign policy and economic interests. After taking office on January 20th, Trump issued an executive order that called on officials to evaluate whether any criminal cartels or transnational gangs should be designated as terrorist groups. Meanwhile, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said the U.S. Drone flights over Mexican territory were part of a collaboration with the U.S. government, adding that there was nothing illegal about it. A U.S. official said drone flights are by agreement with the Mexican government and the aircraft are unarmed. The official said their mission is to pinpoint fentanyl labs. Her comments came amid tense relations after U.S. President Trump pledged to designate Mexican drug cartels as terrorist organizations.
There is nothing illegal. What we have is a collaboration and cooperation. These flights are part of a coordinated operation between the United States and Mexican governments and have been done for many years and many times.
And still to come on DD India News Hour. German political parties continue to strive for influence and power ahead of snap elections scheduled for February 23rd. South Africa takes G20 presidency amid global spotlight. US absence clouds the future. And bright sunshine after heavy snow creates breathtaking views in China.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
And you're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. French Prime Minister François Bayrou survived a sixth no-confidence vote since taking office on December 13th last year, after lawmakers in the National Assembly rejected a motion from the Socialists. The no-confidence vote, initiated by Socialist Party, received only 181 votes in the French National Assembly, far below the 289 needed to unseat Bayrou. The PS launched the no-confidence vote on Monday in protest against Bayrou's use of the term migratory submersion. The left-wing party accused him of accelerating France's political and moral decline. The far-right party National Rally had previously announced that it would not support the no-confidence vote. A majority of MPs from socialist groups, PS, leave the chamber in the French National Assembly during a debate on the motion of censure that they themselves had tabled. And German voters are all set to elect a new lower house of parliament on Sunday with migration, economy and conflict on their minds. Let's take a look at the key parties contesting these crucial elections.
In the heart of Europe lies Germany, a country known for its rich history, cultural diversity and strong democratic values. The political landscape in Germany is as vibrant and dynamic as its citizens, with several major political parties vying for influence and power. Let's take a look at key parties and their promises. Germany has two centrist big tent parties, Scholz's centre-left Social Democrats and the opposition Conservatives, an alliance of the Christian Democrats, CDU, and their Bavarian sister party, the Christian Social Union. However, they have just lost support in recent years, with smaller parties such as the environmental Greens and the far-right Alternative for Germany AfD gaining ground. The SPD, Conservatives, Greens and AfD are all fielding candidates for Chancellor. Also running are the pro-market Free Democrats, FDP, the far-left Linked and the leftist Saha Wagenknecht alliance, who are all at risk of missing the 5% threshold to make it into parliament, according to opinion polls. In Germany, parties only win seats in parliament if they obtain 5% or more of the votes. Let's take a look at Germany's major political parties. The Christian Democratic Union, the CDU. Leader, Friedrich Merz. Ideology, Christian democracy, conservatism. Position, centre-right. Key policies, economy, finance, migration and border control, security, climate, social policies. Social Democratic Party. Leaders, Lars Klingbeil. Chairperson, Zakia Esken, party leader. Ideology, social democracy. Position, centre-left. Key policies, social justice, workers' rights, progressive social policies. The Greens. Leaders, Franziska Brandner. Felix Vanasak. Ideology, green politics, social liberalism. Position, centre to centre-left. Key policies, environmental protection, climate change, social equality. Free Democratic Party. Leader, Christian Lindner. Ideology, liberal. Position, centre-right. Key policies, individual freedom, free market economy, lower taxes. Alternative for Germany, AfD. Leader, Tino Trupala. Alice Weidel. Ideology, right-wing populism, national conservatism. Position, far-right. Key policies, Euroscepticism, anti-immigration, climate change denial. The left, Die Linke. Leader, Katja Kipping, Bernd Rixinger. Ideology, left-wing politics. Position, far left. Key policies, social justice, anti-capitalism, welfare state expansion. Bündnis Sahara Wagenknecht. Chairperson, Sarah Wagenknecht. Amira Mohammed Ali. It is a populist party that blends left-leaning economic policies with conservative migration and pro-Russian foreign policy initiatives. Germany's political landscape is a testament to its vibrant democracy, where diverse ideologies coexist and compete. Each party brings its unique perspective and solutions to the table, reflecting the rich tapestry of German society. As the nation continues to evolve, these political forces will shape its future, ensuring that democracy remains robust and resilient. Bureau Report, DD India.
Venezuela's electoral authority has pushed back regional and parliamentary elections to May as the nation's opposition is set conditions in order to participate in the vote. The vote was postponed to May 25th from an initial April 27th date. Electoral Board head Elvis Amoroso said in a press conference on Wednesday, the delay comes after requests from political actors to foster voter participation. The most prominent opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, called on her followers not to participate after President Nicolás Maduro began a third six-year term in January following an election that was widely regarded as fraudulent. Venezuelans will choose amid nearly 300 lawmakers and 24 governors in the vote, including one for the Essequibo territory, which it disputes with neighboring Guyana. Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has been charged with leading a plan to overthrow the government after losing the 2022 elections. Prosecutor General Paulo Gonet accused Bolsonaro and 33 others of forming a criminal organization to keep him in power. The plan allegedly included poisoning President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva and attacking democracy. Rogério Mariano, the head of the Liberal Party, declared Bolsonaro's coup plot charges unconstitutional. The charges come after a 2-year police investigation into the election-denying movement that culminated in riots by Bolsonaro supporters in the capital in early 2023. This was a week after President Lula da Silva took office. UN Security Council members met at the United Nations on Wednesday in hopes of averting the widening conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo, intensifying violence in the eastern region of Democratic Republic of Congo that continues to displace thousands as Rwanda-backed M23 armed group threatens to march on distant capital Kinshasa. Head of the UN Stabilization Mission in the Republic of Congo briefed the Security Council, warning of escalating violence and deepening humanitarian concerns. The UN Secretary-General, Special Envoy for the Great Lakes region, also briefed the Council, warning that the crisis could spill over through the region as history is repeating itself. Rwanda has rejected allegations from Congo, United Nations and Western powers that it supports the M23 with arms and troops. In other news, South Korea's impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol will today attend the first hearing of his criminal trial over insurrection charges at the Seoul Central District Court. The court will also hold hearing to review the legality of Yoon's detention as requested by his lawyers earlier this month. Prosecutors last month indicted indicted Yoon, after accusing him of leading an insurrection with his short-lived imposition of martial law on December 3rd. The charges are unprecedented for a sitting South Korean president, and if convicted, Yoon could face years in prison for his shock martial law decree. A historic moment for South Africa as it takes over the G20 presidency, a platform that represents 85% of the global GDP and two-thirds of the world's population. But with the US absent, citing concerns over South Africa's expropriation of private property, the road ahead is anything but smooth. Tripti Tripathi gets us more.
We have a responsibility to do better. It is with this hope that I pass the mallet of the presidency of the G20 to President Ramaphosa.
Thank you.
South Africa's G20 presidency was expected to bring a renewed focus on the challenges faced by poorer nations. But with Washington choosing to skip the summit, citing policy concerns, political experts believe this could undermine South Africa's leadership.
The Trump administration are doing is to throw South Africa's presidency of the G20 into a tailspin. They also may want to get American companies and American investors to boycott this conference.
Despite the challenges, South Africa is moving forward, focusing on solidarity, equality, and sustainability. As the first foreign ministers' meeting approaches, leaders will discuss ways to bridge inequalities. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will represent India at this summit. The key priorities for South Africa's G20 agenda includes strengthening disaster resilience, scaling up post-disaster reconstruction, ensuring debt sustainability for low-income countries, expanding debt relief measures, mobilizing finance for energy transition, securing climate finance agreements, and harnessing critical minerals for inclusive growth. President Cyril Ramaphosa remains committed to making development finance accessible, adapting to climate change, and amplifying the voice of the Global South in the world's most influential economic forum. With global economies facing multiple crises, South Africa's leadership will be tested. But the success of its G20 presidency could reshape global financial priorities for developing nations. Tripti Tripathi reporting for DD India.
Clear blue skies and bright sunshine following recent snowfall turned the iconic mountains in eastern China into a veritable winter wonderland. Yellow Mountain in Anhui province, Huangshan city, has become a focal point for tourists, lured in by the quiet majesty and breathtaking landscapes and snowscapes. Mount Lushan was also bathed in crisp winter sunshine with a rainbow appearing in the clouds in the valley below. What breathtaking sights there still to come on DD India News Hour. Amit Shah to address Unity Utsav celebrating Northeast India's culture and sportsmanship in Delhi. Mahakumbh Mela ends on February 26th as scheduled. Over 560 million take holy dip so far. And 9th National Snowshoe Championship 2025 showcases Kashmir's winter sports potential. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Our top stories. US President Donald Trump denounces Zelenskyy as a dictator. Zelenskyy hopes talks with visiting US envoy Keith Kellogg will be constructive. Sad day ahead for Israel as it prepares to receive bodies of youngest Gaza hostages. Hamas agrees to release all remaining hostages in a single swap in the next phase. First-time MLA Rekha Gupta to script history as she takes oath as Chief Minister. Delhi's stressed with woman at helm continues today. India to face Bangladesh in Dubai as Men in Blue begin Champions Trophy campaign. Oldest Pakistan stare at ignominious exit after loss to New Zealand in the opening tie. Delhi's wait for its new Chief Minister ended on Wednesday night with BJP naming Rekha Gupta for the top post. Rekha Gupta, who will be Delhi's fourth woman Chief Minister, will take oath on Thursday at the historic Ramlila ground. Rekha Gupta won the Shalimar Bagh seat against Aam Aadmi Party's Bandana Kumari and Congress's Parveen Kumar Jain. She began her political career with the ABVP student wing in the late 1990s. She also served as the president of Delhi's University Students' Union, that's DUSU. Rekha Gupta has held key positions in the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha, serving as Delhi Unit Secretary and later as the National Secretary. The official announcement was made at the BJP Legislature Party meeting in Delhi on Wednesday, setting the stage for a new leadership. The BJP swept the February 5th Assembly elections, winning 48 out of 70 seats, and ousting the Aam Aadmi Party. Many union ministers and chief ministers have congratulated Rekha Gupta on becoming the Chief Minister of Delhi. And 6 other leaders will take oath as Delhi cabinet ministers. These include Parvez Verma, Ashish Sood, Manjinder Singh Sirsa, Ravinder Indraj Singh, Kapil Mishra and Pankaj Kumar Singh. BJP's jaunt face in the capital, Parvez Verma, defeated Arvind Kejriwal from New Delhi seat in Delhi Assembly elections. He will take oath as Deputy Chief Minister of the national capital. The BJP came back to power in Delhi after 27 years as the election results were announced on February 8th. And my colleague Anil Thomas joins us from Delhi with more. Anil, the BJP has returned to power in Delhi after over 2 decades. The oath-taking ceremony is said to be a special one.
Well, good morning, dear Shubhendu. Well, very much so. You know, it's one that's going to see a political transition and BJP coming to power after 27 years. A woman chief minister, the 4th woman chief minister of Delhi. And clearly the celebrations at the Ramlila ground are going to be historic, which is going to show the richness of Delhi's culture and heritage. And I think that's what the tone has been set, purely in terms of inclusivity, and all religion delegation will be there, purely in terms of security arrangement. Close to 25,000 security arrangements inside and outside the Ramlila grounds. Traffic arrangements, elaborate traffic arrangements being made, advisories being issued to people, so that from morning 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the evening, certain routes to be avoided, especially for people going to Delhi Station. representation being clearly given to the people. Also with regards to a cultural extravaganza, before the oath-taking ceremony starts, there's a cultural extravaganza that's been planned that starts roughly around 11 a.m. and it's going to be power-packed, led by Kailash Kher and other political bigwigs who are going to be part of this. And all in all, if you look at, chief ministers of various states, prime minister, home minister, various union ministers, various partners of the NDA being party to this particular celebration, and also the common man. Let's not forget Rekha Yadav, as soon as she was invited by the LG, she did on social media invite the people of Delhi, the common man of Delhi, to come and participate in the celebration. And I think that's what is going to signify. Close to 30,000 people there at the Ramlila grounds. And it's going to be something that will be remembered for long because, Ramlila ground has historical significance. And this particular oath-taking ceremony will be something that's going to showcase Delhi's rich culture and heritage in full pomp.
Right. Anil, let's talk about the person in focus. Rekha Gupta is said to be the new Chief Minister of Delhi. What kind of experience does she bring to the job and what will be her priorities from here on?
Well, she's got, if one may say, if one takes a look at her political journey that began in early 90s, she's got student leadership under her belt. She's got political experience purely in terms of how the complexities that Delhi offers on the table. And remember, her election campaign had been very much circulating around her work. She said, "Mera kaam, meri pehchan." My work is my identity. And I think she put her head out when she went ahead with the campaign, because that campaign is something very difficult to maintain, because she had fought 2 previous elections there from that seat and lost to the candidate that she finally beat in 2025. So having said all that, she's got a mix of everything. She's worked in organization. She's got organizational skills. She's worked with the BJP at various levels. And looking at the work that she's done in all 3 spheres, from student politics to political experiences, also with regards to municipal governance that she's done for 3 long terms. So having put all that together, she brings a lot to the table. I think she understands the problems that Delhi faces, the complexity that Delhi offers to her. And I think all this would help her, play good in this new role as the Delhi Chief Minister. Remember, there are immediate problems that Delhi needs to be attended, especially when it comes to air and water. Also, the welfare schemes that have been announced, which need to roll out before March 8th, as the Prime Minister promised. So challenges are immense before her, but I think she's ready for the job. And, her role would be to see to it that all things roll as per the time and schedule. And I think that's an Herculean task. But, the party believes that she's ready for it. But it surely came as a surprise move to see Rekha Gupta getting elected as the Chief Minister or the Chief Minister-elect. But having said that, it's always been surprises that we've seen, especially when it comes to the BJP and the think tank that is behind selecting the Chief Minister. But all in all, I think, Delhi getting its 4th Chief Minister will be something the people of Delhi would also be looking forward to. What does she bring to the table that could be a game changer?
Time for a new leadership in the national capital. Anil, thank you for those updates. India's Home Minister Amit Shah will address the Unity Utsav, a glimpse of rich cultural heritage of the Northeast in the national capital. Assam Rifles, in collaboration with Northeast Association Social Welfare, is organizing the Unity Utsav, celebrating sportsmanship and cultural heritage of the Northeast. Under the theme One Voice, One Nation, the 5-day event concludes in Delhi today. Unity Utsav brings together over 1,000 students from all 8 northeastern states, showcasing their talent and fostering a spirit of unity and national pride. And now the latest from the Mahakumbh. As the Mahakumbh 2025 is set to conclude on February 26th, it enters its final phase. Prayagraj has witnessed a massive influx of pilgrims over the past 4 days, with the number surpassing 10 million. The Kumbh, which began on January 13th, the total number of pilgrims who have taken a holy dip has reached nearly 560 million till date. Prayagraj administration and police have once again implemented extensive security measures to ensure the smooth movement of pilgrims in the area. Visitors arriving from other cities must park their vehicles at designated lots on the city's outskirts and travel to Kumbh Mela site using government transport or other available modes, including unauthorized motorcycle services operating in the district. Inside the Kumbh area, pilgrims are not allowed to remain in one place or at the ghat for an extended period. The Kumbh administration is ensuring a continuous flow movement. Mahakumbh is not being extended categorically, dismissing related rumours. District Magistrate of Prayagraj said the schedule of the religious event will remain unchanged. The DM said dates are based on auspicious alignment of stars in specific timings, and thus the Mahakumbh Mela will conclude on its pre-scheduled date of February 26th. A young man from central state of Madhya Pradesh, Rudra Patel, travelled to the Mahakumbh on skates, promoting Sanatan Dharma. Patel has so far travelled more than 5,000 kilometres with the Indian flag. He set out on an all-India tour to create awareness for cow protection. Starting this journey from Katni, Madhya Pradesh, he has reached Sangam city, Prayagraj, after visiting 12 Jyotirlingas from Andhra Pradesh. In other news, India's southern state of Telangana will host the Miss World pageant this year. Telangana outnumbered Dubai in taking the top slot in conducting this prestigious event. The announcement was made by Chairperson and CEO of Miss World Limited, Julia Morley, along with Secretary Tourism and Culture, Government of Telangana, Smita Sabharwal. The event will begin on May 4th and the grand opening and final ceremony will be held in Hyderabad. The other competitions between the opening and the finale will be organized at other destinations in Telangana. Julia Morley said Telangana was picked after considering its reputation for safety, hospitality and thriving international ecosystem. She said the state is an ideal destination for visitors, while Sabharwal said the event would showcase Telangana's art forms, tourist destinations and handlooms. Let's now take a look at other stories making news. Union Minister for Tribal Affairs, Joel Oram, lauded the proactive initiatives of National Commission for Scheduled Tribes while addressing the gathering at the 22nd Foundation Day celebrations. Oram assured that the Tribal Ministry, in collaboration with the Commission, will continue working towards ensuring better and dignified life, social justice and holistic development for scheduled tribe communities. In a significant step towards boosting fisheries sector in Kupwara city in Jammu and Kashmir, Deputy Commissioner Ayush Sudan inaugurated a live fish vending centre at Chokibal village under Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. The initiative aims to promote hygiene fish marketing, enhanced income generation for fish farmers and ensures availability of fresh fish to consumers. The 9th National Snowshoe Championship, organised at the picturesque Sonmarg in Gandarbal district of central Kashmir. The exciting event drew significant attention to the region's potential as a winter sports hub. It was organised by the Jammu and Kashmir Snowshoe Association in collaboration with Department of Tourism and under guidance of the Snowshoe Federation of India. Himachal Pradesh's Lahore and Spiti districts have transformed into winter wonderland as it received fresh spell of snow. Fresh snowfall has led to cold day conditions in some parts over plain areas and mid-hills of the state on Thursday. And still to come on DD India News Hour. Microsoft unveils new chip which it says could lead to more stable quantum computers. India's Shubman Gill has taken over Pakistan's Babar Azam in the latest ODI rankings released by the ICC. And we show you visuals of the world's largest collection of cricket memorabilia.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does, and says supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Microsoft on Wednesday unveiled a new chip it said shows quantum computing is years, not decades away. Microsoft says that it could transform everything from fighting pollution to developing new medicines, joining Google and IBM in arguing that promise of quantum computing is closer than imagined. The US-made chip called Majorana 1 can fit in the palm of a hand, but packs a revolutionary design that Microsoft believes will solve one of the biggest challenges in quantum computing, making the super powerful machines reliable enough for real-world use. The company says the breakthrough was confirmed in research published on Wednesday in the scientific journal Nature.
Well, you know, it's less than 10 micron by 10 micron a side, and a lot of qubits really are quite a bit larger for one reason or another, usually having to do with the trying to make them stable.
And US stocks ended marginally higher on Wednesday, and the S&P 500 notched its second straight all-time closing high as investors scrutinized the minutes from the Federal Reserve's January policy meeting and the US latest tariff announcements. At the meeting, US Central Bank left its key interest rate unchanged. The minutes showed policymakers express concern about stubborn inflation and potential effect of Trump's policy proposals. S&P 500 gained 0.24% to end at 6,144.15 points, while Nasdaq Composite gained 0.07% to 20,056.25 points. And time now for all the action from the world of sports. Rohit Sharma and his men are set to begin their quest for the second successive ICC trophy as India will start their Champions Trophy campaign against Bangladesh at the Dubai International Stadium. Indian men's cricket team journey in Champions Trophy has been impressive with 2 titles and 4 finals in their kitty. The men in blue will be looking to add another feather in their cap this year.
Led by Rohit Sharma, Team India enters the competition as a top contender, boasting a well-balanced squad featuring stalwarts like Virat Kohli, Shubman Gill and Shreyas Iyer, along with a formidable all-round unit. Team India has enjoyed a rich history in Champions Trophy, winning the title twice and reaching 4 finals in 8 editions. India has an impressive history in the Champions Trophy, having won the tournament twice in 2002 and in 2013 under MS Dhoni's captaincy. In 2013, India was undefeated throughout the tournament. In the first 2 Champions Trophies, India performed well but got knocked out in the playoffs. Sourav Ganguly's team reached the final but fell short against New Zealand, losing by 4 wickets in the year 2000. The 2004 to 2009 period saw India go through a rough patch as they faced group stage exit in 3 consecutive Champions Trophies. India bounced back in 2013 and reached the final in 2017 but faced a crushing defeat against Pakistan in the final. Placed in Group A, India began their Champions Trophy campaign against Bangladesh on 20th February. They will go on to face arch rivals Pakistan in a much anticipated contest on 23rd February and play their final group stage match against New Zealand on March 2. India holds a strong record against Bangladesh in ICC tournaments and will look to continue their dominance. In terms of key battles, Rohit Sharma's battle against Mustafizur Rahman will be crucial as the left-arm pacer has troubled Indian batsmen in the past. Another matchup to watch will be Virat Kohli facing Taskin Ahmed's express pace. On the other side, India's young pacer Arshdeep Singh will look to make early inroads against Bangladesh's aggressive opener Liton Das. With high stakes and passionate fan bases, the return of Champions Trophy promises to be an exciting affair. Sports Desk, DD India.
Earlier, clinical New Zealand outplayed Pakistan by 60 runs in the opening game of the much-awaited Champions Trophy 2025 in Karachi on Wednesday. Centuries each from Tom Latham and Will Young alongside a fiery 50 from Glenn Phillips steered New Zealand to 320 for 5 in 50 overs. Pakistan skipper Mohammad Rizwan won the toss and opted to bowl. The decision seemed right as the hosts reduced the Black Caps to 73 for 3 at one stage. But a 118-run partnership between Young and Latham turned the tide in New Zealand's favour. For Pakistan, Naseem Shah was the most successful bowler with figures of 2 for 63. Pakistan struggled in the chase due to their slow start of 22 for 2 in 10 overs. Kushdil Shah and Salman Agha scored quick-fire 69 and 42, but it wasn't enough for the home team. And our sports correspondent Narayan Singh joins us from Delhi with more. Narayan, with India entering the tournament as favourites, how do you see the Team India strategy for the match today?
Good morning, Shubhendu. The way we know that India is a strong contender to lift this edition of the ICC Champions Trophy, and last time they lifted the trophy in 2013. And this time around, if you take a look at the team, it is a highly balanced team. In the bilateral series against England, we saw the way Rohit Sharma was back in the form, and the way Shubman Gill too was in the form, and the way we saw Shreyash Iyer also played some fantastic knock in that series. So all in all, it's looking a very good thing for the India. The players who are out of the form, they are back in the form. And apart from that, in the past, especially if you talk about the 2023 World Cup, where India played an unblemished cricket throughout the tournament, but lost the final against Australia, where we saw that few impact players are missing, especially Rishabh Pant was not there. Hardik Pandya started the tournament, few matches, then got injured and then was out of the tournament. And I think this time around we have many impact players like Rishabh Pant, Hardik Pandya and Akshar Patel in the team. And the presence of impact player definitely makes a different ball game for any team. And India has those impact players here. And apart from that, in that tournament, in 2023 World Cup, we don't have any left-handers in the top 5 or top 6. And this time around, the way Akshar Patel has reinvented himself as an opener, even if you look him in the series against the England, Indian team used him as a floater. And even at the number 4, when he is coming to bat, it was never looked like that. It was an experiment by the Team India. He was purely playing as a batsman. And here also, Team India can use him as a floater. And if he is there in the top 5, Rishabh Pant is also there. If a left-hander comes into the play, definitely it changed everything for the opponent. And we are hoping that this time around they will do. And the way, if you talk about the stalwarts of the Indian team, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, this may be the last World Cup. We can say the big ICC event, especially the next World Cup will take place in 2027, and who knows. But last time around, when India won the Champions Trophy, they were the part of that tournament in 2023 against the leadership of the MS Dhoni, where Rohit Sharma was there, Ravindra Jadeja was also there, and Virat Kohli also there. So again, they are still there and playing for the India. And so this time around, they can we can say that the mentor, the junior players who are Indian team also going through the transition phase. So it's an excellent podium for everyone, for the youngster, for the young player, for the experienced player to go there and win this trophy. And again, they lost the 50-over format World Cup in the 2023, and this time around they can do an excellent job by winning the trophy. They have the potential. Everything is there. Jasprit Bumrah is missing, but still we have the quality all-rounders, the spinning all-rounders, quality pace bowler, the way we can say that the way Shami is inside the team, he is back in the team. So It could be a good thing for the India, and they have the capability to win this tournament.
Right. India's cricket action begins today. Much to look forward to. Narayan, thank you for those updates. In the latest ODI ranking released by ICC, India's Shubman Gill has taken over Pakistan's Babar Azam ahead of the 2025 Champions Trophy. Gill reclaimed the top spot after an excellent home campaign against England earlier this month. His tally of 259 runs in 3 innings with an average of over 86 was the best by an Indian batter in the contest. This was the second time that Gill claimed the top ranking in his career, previously during the ODI World Cup in 2023. Sri Lanka spinner Theekshana climbed to the top of the ICC men's ODI bowling rankings for the first time as he passed Afghanistan's tweaker Rashid Khan. And we know that cricket is more than just a game in India, it's an emotion. And as India kicks off its campaign at the much-awaited Champions Trophy 2025, we're leaving you with these visuals of Blades of Glory Museum, which is the world's largest collection of cricket memorabilia. With over 75,000 priceless artifacts, including signed bats from every World Cup winning team since 1975, the museum is a dream come true for cricket fans. It's located in Pune. What a treat for cricket lovers. And that's all for this edition of TD India News Hour. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on TD India mobile app. This app is available on Android and iOS platforms. Scan this QR code on your screens to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on TD India. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching TD India News Hour. Namaskar.